Within Christ, there are diametrically opposed timelines, and all time indeed. Within the year of 33, all the ages of man are within Christ, that which he covered on the cross for our sins. And in such manner, in these diametrically opposed timelines, realms and realities, dimensions and rooms inside cubes, the polygonal structure that moves, creating animation and time. Considering illumination, I'm a minion. Consider Pixar and their production. If you know the name, then the two coincide. And in these diametrically opposed timelines, each man having at least two. One is the likeness of Christ. The other, you, a pillar. And the worst kind of you that there is. Sanctification is the gradual process that comes in between the lower dynamic, the dynamic of man, according to man's knowledge that we call Jacob, that's given the promise of Israel, to being sanctified into the likeness of Christ, which is the groom, being of likeness of mind and one heart. Disagreements in one mind that would make one seem schizophrenic or bipolar is the interpolation of breaking dimensions on an ascending scale being delivered by Christ, not by the work of your hands or your rising or witchcraft or magic, especially nothing of knowledge, lest any man boast. Notice how the words percolate, how they sift together like a centrifuge and the cream rises to the top. And I nourish the crops of my people, those who will hear it. Some can hear, some can see, and some are deaf, but they listen. No need to stress, these words go to the spirit. I'm not speaking to your brain or according to your knowledge or for any agreement or validation. That's the ways of this world. Your rejection is a blessing and a sign as a curse of knowing who I am as a people. Knowing that flesh is superficial, who I am in the spirit. There is a God of this world. And the God of this world is different than the one that I follow, though they both deal with the law. And here's where things get conflicting in the singleness of a man's eye, because the law is of sin and death. This type of knowledge you need to know of, but why would God want you to know of it? Because then you're doing rituals, the work of yourself, to give to God, and he wants spiritual fruits, which you can't provide spiritually if you have to clean the inside of the cup. How can you do that with your hands, considering your body is the cup? Then you provide the work of your hands to God and say, I'm presentable. Look at my accolades. Considering Daniel before the king of Tyre, having less knowledge, but considered righteous and blessed by God. So there are two versions of you. One of you is the man of sin, and the other is Christ. And these two minds share a body, and these are the weighing scales of your soul. And if you have lost your mind, then you are as Adam and Eve, being amongst good and evil, but not knowing the difference, having to try all fruit and suffer many sorrows. This is the spiritual curse. The physical and the spiritual align to bring consequence or opportunity, provided in the heart, and the heart correlates with the mind, and the mind with soul or psyche. Such is the scales that correlate with Egypt. the weighing of the heart. The man is the Pharaoh. Considering his mind changes the dynamic of how he's perceived, though. And you would know Christ by his curses and his people thereby also, not by their blessings. I'm out.